The locker. I'm going into the 5th grade this year, and I really want to start off on a great foot. Last year on Halloween, there was plenty of creepy chaos because of the monster in Mineola. My best friend Luke turned into a werewolf, and we didn't get to go trick-or-treating with all of our friends. Even though Luke turned back into human form around midnight, his eyes didn't stop glowing yellow for days. It was Wednesday, September 6th, 2022, the day before 5th grade started. It was a hot day, and I was sitting on the front porch of my house thinking about what middle school is going to be like and who is going to be in my classes. What will my teachers look like? What does the middle school even look like? Where will my locker be assigned? My mom called me in for dinner. She made burgers, my favorite. I ran in and stopped worrying. The burgers were delicious. My parents even let my brother and I have a chocolate chip cookie as a treat. I showered and brushed my teeth, put on my comfy Halloween pajamas, and went to bed relaxed, happy, and excited for my first day of middle school. The next morning, I get to school and go straight to my homeroom, Mr. Straight Eyes class, room 999. Let's just say he looked really creepy. I didn't have any friends in my class, which made me feel kind of uncomfortable. Again, it was my first day of my first year of middle school. I looked to my right, and suddenly I recognized Branderson Rock, my 4th grade bully. I took a deep breath and the bell rang. Homeroom was finally over. The class left room 999 to go find our lockers. I had to walk down an unusually straight and skinny hallway to get to my locker, which was number 666. I arrived at my locker and it was so rusty. I opened it up and it was filled with cobwebs and it smelled like Mr. Straight Eyes' stinky breath. I looked at the top back corner and found an old ripped poster. It said, Homecoming 1977, Mineola Mustangs vs. Floral Park Memorial Knights. Don't miss it. The bell rang yet again, and I slammed the locker shut, and I see Branderson Rock standing right next to me. His locker was right next to mine. I whispered, "You gotta be kidding me." And I went straight to social studies in hope that this day would turn out better than it was going. Turns out that social studies was awesome. My teacher, Miss Hillebo, smelled like flowers and perfume. The rest of the day and the first month of school turned out fine. The only bad thing was that each day my locker seemed to be getting creepier and creepier. It was finally Halloween day, and the school was buzzing with excitement for the Halloween festival happening that night. The Halloween festival is a traditional event that happens at Mineola High School, in the auditorium each year just for the kids. No parents allowed, no exceptions. Your ticket to the festival is your costume, and I couldn't wait to come back later as Thanos. I got to the festival around 9:30 p.m. with Luke, Sam, and Mason. They were dressed up as a werewolf, Luke Skywalker, and Chewbacca. We were having a great time playing the games and eating Halloween cookies shaped like one-eyed bats. I was so thirsty. I went out into the hallway to get some water from the fountain, but I didn't see who was following me. Suddenly, when I was about to take a sip, Branderson Rock walks up behind me and kicks me. I turned around and he says, "What's up, tiny bug?" in his meanest voice. Right at that moment, I realized that my locker is 3 feet away. He shoves me into it and slams the door shut, making huge vibrations that caused the poster to fall down and land on my head. I went to take it off, and my elbow tapped a button that was behind the poster, and I never knew it was even there. I opened my eyes, and suddenly, I'm at the snack stand at the homecoming game. I went to pay for a cotton candy ice cream with black, green, and orange sprinkles, and I see my hands and notice they are big and purple. I touched my face, felt wrinkles. I ran into the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and I saw that I was actually Thanos. I went back outside and heard the crowd cheering. I look around and everything just looked so different. I frantically thought about where I was and how I even got there. I looked up at the scoreboard and it looked blurry and old. I suddenly realized that I went back in time to 1977. The score was 27-24, Mustangs. There were seconds left in the game and I hear the crowds cheering get fainter and fainter. The scoreboard got staticky and then all of a sudden the lights turned off. I hear screaming. Then I hear clops like the bottoms of horseshoes. Clop, clop, clop. Then I hear a loud neigh. I hear the sounds getting louder and closer. The Mineola Mustang mascot is alive. Its head is about to fall off, and you could see its brains were hanging out, its bones from the outside. This thing looked nuts. People were terrified. It started shooting fire out of its mouth. I started running, and I realized that I was Thanos, and I could use the environment to my will. I used the Power Stone on the Infinity Gauntlet and blasted it away. Then, while it was unconscious, I used the Time Stone and thought, go away and never come back. The moon was shining in the horse's face and it rose up. It hit me with its fire breath. Then I tried using the stone one more time and the horse disintegrated. After everything and everyone was back to normal, I used the time stone to get back to October 31st, 2022. I opened my eyes again and I was scrunched in the locker and I kicked it open. Branderson Rock started to laugh at me. Then Mr. Straight Eye, who was dressed up as a goat, walks over to us and scolds Branderson. He tells him he has to leave the festival because he doesn't even have a costume on. Now I started laughing. I began to walk back to the auditorium to see my friends to tell them what happened. Branderson started walking in the opposite direction to leave school. As we were walking the other way, I heard Clap, Clap, Clap by Waylon Fisher.